Lymph comes from the Latin word lympha, meaning pure water or stream. It is a fluid that is collected from the tissues around the body and moves through tiny vessels which are very near to the body's surface. Like a growing river, it passes into larger vessels, and again, like the river, it moves in one direction only. It flows towards the centre of the body, where it will eventually empty into the bloodstream. At various points on this journey, the lymph passes through a special filtering system, where any unwanted particles and cells are removed and destroyed by the body's defences. This takes place in glands called lymph nodes, which are situated in different parts of the body, like the armpit and the groin. But sometimes the system goes wrong.
I didn't realise what it was at first, because my arm just felt slightly swollen, my blouse was just a little bit tight.
I thought I'd been doing the exercises and I thought, oh great, man, I'm building up my strength, my arms are getting fatter.
But when I went to the vascular clinic, it was a consultant there who actually uttered the word for the first time and said, well, you've got chronic lymphedema.
I was gutted, really.
It was the last straw.
It was just awful, just really awful.
I'd gone through surgery, chemo, everything else. And then I thought, no, now this has come along. And I was very depressed about it at first, very.
I did have to have counselling. Somebody come in talking to me about it because I got really, really depressed about it.
And you get to the stage where you just want to cry. And you do, and I must admit I did.
Even when they told me, it still didn't register. I had no idea what it was. I'd never heard the term lymph before.
Lymphedema. The swelling that comes when lymph doesn't drain properly has two main causes. Sometimes people are born with a defective lymph system, but more often lymph drainage is affected by cancer and treatments associated with it, like surgery and radiotherapy. The condition cannot be cured, but the lymph can be made to flow again. This puts you back into control because you can now manage your lymphedema. Where do you start? A compression sleeve is often used to keep the swelling under control. You need to wear it right through the day, so put the sleeve on first thing in the morning before you get busy. The sleeve must fit comfortably. If you can feel pins and needles or your fingers start to change colour, take it off and ask for advice. Rubber gloves are very useful to help put a sleeve on and to help smooth out any wrinkles in the material. If your fingers are swollen, you won't be able to wear rings. But if you do wear jewellery, always be careful not to catch and damage your sleeve. Once your sleeve is properly in place, there's plenty that you can do. Exercising your arm, which includes doing ordinary household chores, is a help. But try to avoid holding your hand or arm stiffly in one position, as you do when you write for a long time or when you paint a ceiling. And of course, never exercise if you get a skin infection like cellulitis. But then you wouldn't want to.
I felt really ill one day as I'd got the flu. I was really cold. I was sitting near the radiator with my coat on. I was shivering. And then when I took my sleeve off and had a look, I was bright red right to the top of my arm. And it was on fire. It was really bad.
I'd be all right for 3 months, maybe. And then it had just flared up. All my leg would go red. You'd had like flu symptoms, shaking, temperature used to rocket. And then they used to have to admit me into hospital and put me on intravenous antibiotics. And I'd been about 5 days. Then I'd come home, I'd feel a bit rough for a couple of weeks till I got back to my normal self. And I'd probably be all right for another 3 months, and then it flared up again. And it happened about, maybe a dozen times. I were in and out of hospital.
So I'm very wary now, because if ever it does start, I know the symptoms. So I know that I've got to take antibiotics.
And, let's say it again, don't do any exercise. But when you are feeling well, exercise is fine. It lets you move and stretch your joints, but it needs to be quite gentle. Here's 3 exercises you can do while you're sitting looking at the television or reading. These stretch the elbow, the wrist, and the finger joints. Now let's look at some exercises that need a bit more concentration. Shoulders can often become stiff and painful, so gently lift them up and down a few times. Now lift your shoulders and stretch them back. Now try taking the shoulders a bit higher and make a little circle backwards with them. Now reverse the procedure so that you are circling your shoulders forwards. After each little set of exercises, don't forget to relax. Now bring your hands to the shoulders and then take your arms out from the side and lift them as high as they will comfortably go. Make circles in the air with your elbow, giving yourself a gentle stretch as you go. When you've done it about 5 times one way, reverse the direction and do it the other. Now try to get your hands behind your head with your elbows back. This puts a comfortable stretch on the front of your shoulders. Next, put your hands to the back of your waist. Remember to keep your back straight. If you have full movement, try drawing rainbows or arches in the air. Try to stretch out as much as you can. Try the breaststroke movement. Start by doing each exercise 5 times, but then repeat the cycle and build up until you can do 10 or 15 times. If you feel breathless or dizzy, stop and get professional advice. Do other forms of exercise too. Swimming or activities in water are especially helpful. And try to avoid carrying heavy bags or even a handbag on the side you wear the sleeve. Sometimes there is a blockage in the lymph drainage system which interrupts the flow. Fluid lies still, like water behind the lock in a canal. One way to clear this pooling of fluid, and the debris and waste products that go with it, is to open up more outlets further upstream. We do this with a form of massage. It is often called simple lymphatic drainage, or SLD. Some do's and don'ts. Do leave yourself plenty of time. You'll need at least 15 minutes, and do wear your sleeve. Don't do this massage if you have cellulitis, and don't do it if you notice any new or painful lumps. First, take some deep, relaxed breaths. Breathe deeply and feel the fingers on your stomach rise up. You may be able to feel the lower part of your rib cage expand too. Do this 5 times. If you want to, you can do all these exercises lying down, or with your head supported on a comfortable chair. Now rest your fingers on each side of the neck and gently push the skin towards the back of your neck. As the skin starts to resist, change the direction down towards your shoulders. Make sure you don't press hard or let your hand slide across the skin. Repeat this 5 times. Now move to the next position a little further down your neck. Perform the same movements and again do it 5 times. The third position is on the shoulders. Pull the fingers forwards towards the collarbone and then in towards the neck. Repeat this 5 times, then work on the other shoulder. If you are supple, you can work on both shoulders at the same time. Always release the pressure under your fingers after each little pull. If your skin goes red, you're pressing too hard. Repeat all 3 positions twice more, using 5 pushes in each position. It is important that the pressure is very gentle, as we are working to open tiny lymphatic channels that are just underneath the skin. Remember that the direction as you work on your neck is downwards and backwards. How long do you maintain the pressure? Try counting slowly in your head. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3. 4, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3. To help the lymph clear away, you now drain the next exit using the armpit on the opposite side to the swelling. Make 5 gentle pushes towards the back and up into the armpit. Don't forget to release the pushes each time so that you can make a pumping action with your fingers. Now repeat the same sequence but a little lower down. The pressure should never be uncomfortable. When you have finished, repeat each of these sequences. Now clear the skin pathways leading to your swollen arm. Start on the chest just a little away from where you have been working. Do 5 gentle pushes towards the armpit. Remember to release the pressure of your hand each time so that the skin takes you back. Now move to the middle of your chest. These pressures are very important because they open up channels to take the lymph away from an area where it cannot drain. So you will repeat them more often than some of the others. After 5 pushes, swap hands, but continue in the same direction. This will mean the pressure will now be a gentle pulling movement. Do this 5 times. Move your hand nearer to the swollen side. It should be resting halfway between the breastbone and your armpit. In this position, make 5 more pulls, but don't press too hard or make the skin go red. If you have any swelling in the chest below the area you have been massaging, you can repeat the sequence again, but this time work further down so that you can move towards the skin on the lower part of the chest. Remember, The aim is to move the lymph from one side of the body to the other, so you exert the pressure in the same direction each time. To finish, you now clear the shoulder area on the same side as your swelling. Cup your hand around your shoulder and gently push out towards the back of your shoulder and then up towards the top of your shoulder joint. Now move your hand so that it is near to the front of your shoulder and repeat the same sort of pressure. Remember to take the pressure off at the end each time. You will need to repeat this 5 times in each position on your shoulder. You can finish off doing 5 deep breaths as you did at the beginning. If you have done your massage lying down, you can bend your knees to take the tension off your tummy if you want to. This helps the deep lymph vessels to drain and allows you to relax to get the full effects of the massage. Of course, we tell you there are benefits, but can you actually feel them for yourself?
If you do the exercises every day, they work. There's no 2 ways about it. They definitely work.
If you don't do it, you do notice the difference. It doesn't feel so supple.
It's a good feeling. And it's something I wouldn't do if I didn't have to do. You know, so in that respect, yes, that is a plus.
Some people have difficulty in exerting the right kind of pressure for massage. The answer is to use a body brush instead of your fingers to ease the lymph away from the blocked area. Pressure is very light. It should barely wrinkle the skin, and it certainly shouldn't cause redness or soreness. Do your breathing exercises first, then work from your ear down towards your collarbone, easing flow downwards and backwards. After this, gently brush towards the middle. Brush up into your armpit from the side of your chest wall. Use the brush to work across your chest wall. Always use a light stroke and repeat it 20 times if you want. Finally, use the brush gently up and over the back of your shoulder, gradually working nearer the front. All these techniques will help you to control your lymphedema, but professional help is also available.
The support you got from the staff at the centre was absolutely brilliant. They put up with all the foibles of, yes, I'm doing my exercises and I wasn't really, and yes, I am doing my massage and I wasn't really, and things like that. But they stuck with me and you kept going, and they started to give you an insight into how to manage the condition. You had to change your lifestyle, you had to change your attitude to the condition you had, because up until that point the condition was just the biggest bugbear in my life. You know, how dare I have lymphedema? I've had cancer and I survived that, and I've had the radiotherapy and I survived that, and how dare they? It was like, you know, the nail in the coffin. How could you give me lymphedema as well? But the support of the clinic and going to the clinic and understanding more about the condition and then accepting it and getting on with it, then yeah, that was the time when you started to get back to being normal.
I have come to terms with it now, and I take each day as it comes, and I do my own thing.
I find I can manage it more now. I feel as though I'm in control of it now, where I wasn't before.
I've come to terms with it. As far as I'm concerned, I've come to terms with it, and that's it.
Coming to terms means that you build a routine of exercise, massage and care into your daily life. This includes inspecting your arm for signs of broken skin, redness, heat or swelling. These may mark the onset of cellulitis. In that case, you will need to start a course of antibiotics as soon as possible. And don't wear your sleeve or do massage until you are better. Breaks in the skin must be avoided at all costs. Use a non-perfume moisture cream to keep the skin supple and in good condition. The cream should be applied every day. It is best done at night after a wash or shower. And at the end, smooth down the hairs on your arm so that they lie naturally flat. Caring for yourself is like watching over the movement of a river. As you exercise and massage your body, you keep the channels flowing freely, and this will help to control and reduce your lymphedema.